Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. It's been a minute. How y'all doing? I gotta get my chat ready to read. 911 Samurai Wood VTuber. So, on Twitter last week, I asked everybody to help me build a VTuber. So, you would reply to the comment with in sequence, and I have to combine all of the stuff that I was given. So make sure to follow the Twitter if you want more stuff like that. In the interaction sense, I'm getting my phone set up and ready. Second. Yeah. So I had a chance for chat to help me build this character online. Where's my pen? Oh, it's on the floor. Where's it on the floor? All right. So, first and foremost, the first comment was gender. We got androgynous, so sort of a they-them type beat going on. And then we got black with vitiligo, which I'll get into in a second. Then we got hair color, pink and yellow. Then we have faux hawk, which my thing is blocking. I'm gonna make that smaller. There we go. And then we have green eyes, silly, quirky personality, clown core, which I probably am not gonna do because I have no clue what that really entails. So I'm just gonna do Y2K, so year 2000 style. And then we're gonna do a giant scythe for the weapon. I'm gonna make my own little spin on that, and then wolf theming for the outfit too. So that's gonna be really cool. Dog/wolf stuff I've done a lot before in the past, if you've watched for a while on the channel. So we're gonna go into a sort of like very simplistic design process and talk about how VTuber design sort of differentiates from normal character design, and it's really cool. So first and foremost, we'll get kind of into the sort of nitty-gritty of it, right? So we can hide this. We already know what we're doing with that. So when it comes to VTuber design, right, everything has to be focused above the chest. Is anybody going this? You mean, is anyone debuting as this? No. This is just a design to kind of show the general design philosophy of how to make a VTuber work, if that makes sense. Like how to make a functional design that is going to be interesting and eye-catching, and so that, you know, you can kind of, it's a proof of concept design, right? Like we're going to be going through and showing how to make your own and really continue on with it, right? So this isn't for anybody specific. This is just a for a little fun thing. No, you're fine. It's okay. It's supposed to show how you can make your own with not it being too complicated, if that makes sense. It's supposed to be a sort of like an ease into designing your own. So, like I said earlier, if we're going to use this sort of like stick figure as an example, right? Because everyone can do a stick figure. Ignore that bit there. Oh, the eraser's too tiny. Ignore that bit there. That was just left over. God's clay, if you would. So VTuber design, typically you want to focus on this sort of section up here. This is where 90% of your detail needs to go, right? Because that's where people are going to be looking, right? Like that's what's going to be on screen. Notice how on my PNG, right, that moves and talks when I talk. Oh, look. Oh, I don't have like fully fleshed out legs, right? Stickman was kind of weird for a second. Don't worry about him. Don't judge him. He does his own thing, right? And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing our space properly when it comes to character design, especially with the VTuber, because they have their own quirky little niche that they need to fill. So obviously when it comes to VTubers, you'll see a lot of VTubers have a sort of like theme going on, be it like an occupation, an animal, sometimes both. And then you also have stuff like color thematic, sort of like Sentai Warrior theme, where it's like they have everything mentioned previously, but they have a card color code that they have to apply. So you need a sort of sense of like color theory. So we got like reds, blues, yellows. Actually, there's not a lot of yellow VTuber colors, I don't think, but you get the point. I need wow, agua. So based off of that, right, we can kind of already ascertain what we need to be doing. So let's write some hard following rules that we have here. Okay. So focus on the top. On top torso. Right? So that is where 90% of your design is going to be, right? A lot of VTubers have very gacha game inspired outfit design and stuff like that, right? So very complex clothing. So detailed clothing. I personally don't super like that. Like, I like some detailing, like, as you can probably tell with my designs. But I don't like Genshin themed outfits. I think they're a little, for lack of a better word, tacky. They don't look good to me. So I'm not gonna do crazy like patterning and like out there like layers and layers of clothing that doesn't make any sense. And how would you even put this on in like your room or whatever? So we're not gonna do that. And then eye-catching silhouette is another good one. Catching. Sorry for my terrible penmanship. I think that's how you spell silhouette. I could be wrong. So we need to make sure that it kind of sticks out, right? Like it needs to be, if I were to, for example, take our stickman and fill it in, right? Like you can recognize this is a stickman from the silhouette, right? But if we, for example, add, what's a generic sort of, oh, I know. Like you can tell this is supposed to be Sonic, right? Like because of the silhouette. Like this is Sonic. Totally 100% Sonic. Gotta go. But it proves my point though, right? Like you can see it's proving my point by doing this. Like you can tell this is supposed to be a form of Sonic because it has the striking key visuals, right? Okay. Just making sure that's clear for everyone in the audience. Next up, we have color usage. So we got to make sure we have a consistent color palette. This good thing at the corner. Color palettes. So okay, I think those are pretty good for starting, at the very least. So we can get rid of our stickman. Everyone say bye, stickman. Stickman's gonna go out back and deal with some dumpsters for a second, so we don't have to look at stickman anymore. Bye bye, stickman. And now we can start working on the idea behind what everyone gave me. So a lot of people gave me different. Oh, hold on. Let me change the color of this to black so we can see this better. All right. So first and foremost, the one that immediately popped up here is the scythe, because that's what I was last grabbing references for. So scythes have been done a lot, right? You gotta, if you're doing a scythe, it has to be unique in some way. So I grabbed some war scythe references because I don't see a lot of people actually using war scythe. It's always the gardening one, and I think it's more interesting. I've done war scythe stuff before, back in my dinosaur weapon series, So if you want to go see how I did handle that, you can go look at those. And then we have the animal stuff at the site. Obviously, grab some wolf references. I might take a small tidbit to go grab some like wolf skull references because I think bones are pretty cool and might fit this a lot. But I do want to keep it silly, goofy. Yeah, green. If I can fit green into this, like I will try to. But the colors that have been given to me are pink and yellow. I do have green eyes though, so that'll be interesting. So clothing, here's the Y2K stuff. You know, very party-esque, I guess you would call it, right? Now for the Vitiligo, I don't know how to pronounce that properly, I'm so sorry. These are my references for that. There was a bunch of other stuff for how to place it, and I think I'm gonna try and use the wolf theming into it somehow. I'll explain that later. And then the one reference I got for the hair I really, really liked. Like, I'm just going to try and emulate this hair. So for the animal theming, right off the bat, I want to say you don't have to just be animal person for VTuber stuff. Like, there's a lot of very popular VTubers that have animal thematic to them, but they themselves are not the animal. One of the major ones that come up to my brain are like Axel Sirius from Hollowstars again. He has like hair clips, a muzzle, and a belt with like a wolf tail on it, but he himself is not like a wolf dude. He is just a human that has wolf accessories, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be going for with this as well. And there's a bunch of other examples out there, but he's probably like the best for my argument. We're going to cherry pick that for sure. All right, so for sketch, we want to just do a pretty basic pose that can show off the design pretty good, right? So very like silly, quirky, so nothing too serious either. So we'll try and do like peace sign, PC, you know, like that sort of like hand motion. A quick wireframe. Yeah. And like that. And we'll go more into like face shape stuff in a minute. But this is just to get the sort of like general idea of the body pose down. I should probably make these arms slightly longer. There we go. And that way. Yep, okay. What I do to measure arm length is I make like a little like compass symbol with my fingers and just sort of like slide them across my tablet and see if they line up to where they need to go on the body. I know it's a little goofy and it doesn't really represent very well what I'm doing on stream, but it's the easiest way to do it as I grew up doing traditional art. Next up, we gotta do this arm here. This one will be holding the scythe. I need slightly. Okay. Awesome. It's the divider for the next part of the arm. There you go, scythe. A very generic shape of scythe. Now, I typically draw very muscly endowed people, so I want to try and branch off of that and not do anything too heavy, like muscle-wise. I'm stopping by to say hello, Goober. Well, hello back to you, sir. Hope you're having a good day, having a good Saturday. How am I gonna pose this? I think having like a sort of silly, goofy pose is good, you know? One leg kicking up, being like, haha, I'm carefree! That sort of vibe. Shrinking this as I go. Okay. Anatomy. Oh, how I loathe and also need you. Okay, there we go. Pose done. I think I will probably, again, make that arm like slightly longer as it doesn't quite look like it works now. There we go, that's better. Okay. Awesome. Now we can start working out the details and make things more coherent with our, we'll just call it the Bible that we've written for how to design a VTuber. It's almost Easter Sunday, right? I can say that without it being blasphemous. All right, so let's work on, I think, first and foremost, the clothing design and see if we can get a good, like, shape language flowing from that. So we're going to make a new layer. I like to do this sort of thing in a different color from the actual body pose. Today is definitely one of the days ever, but I hope you're having... Aw, well, thanks, bud. I don't know why you gave me the tongue emoji. As it's a choice, for sure. So, thanks for the tongue, I guess. Where was I? Right. So, Y2K. So, let's bring up the outfit references. So, I'm noticing a lot of very long pants that are very loose and flowing. Yeah! So we're going to do that. We're going to try and emulate that sort of design feat. I do like the idea of having a very loose, sort of like hanging belt pant idea here. Feels very Y2K. Just like that. Ish. And we will refine that shape later on. Now, again, remember, we don't want to do too much detailing when it comes to the pants. Like, some detail is fine. Having some flare down there is totally okay. But the pants should never be the drawing factor for a VTuber design, because then you've failed, unless you are doing some very weird stuff where your legs are the main thing on screen, which, every VTuber needs their niche, but design accordingly. With that said, we can move on to doing the actual pant legs, where they're going to be very baggy, really not very form-fitting, so very, like, almost apple-bottom jeans, boots with the fur. We can make that work, because the whole club will be looking at them. I just realized we have the whole wolf thematic going on here. We can do boots with the fur. So it can be good to sort of lean into that there. And it won't be like super eye-catching, but it'll fit in the whole thematic. Yeah! See? This guy gets it. So boots with the fur. Okay. And what we can do too is add like little paw things to make it emphasize that these are like wolf paws. Yeah, look. It can be furry core without it being furry. See? Maybe furries aren't so bad after all. Maybe they are redeemable. I really hope no furry is hearing this and kills me in my sleep. In-game. Now, this comes the harder part, because now we're actually be working on the upper body, so it needs to be catching. It needs to really be the star of the show, right? So we gotta figure out what we're doing here. Here, first, before we do that, I'm gonna add like a chain or something here, going across the belt. Just for the extra bit of flair, sort of break up the space a bit. Next up, I'm going to do the shirt. I like the idea of doing a sort of like turtleneck thing here. What we can do also is, I'll look up a reference later, but I want to do like a wolf bottom jaw there as like a form of jewelry. Yeah, like that. And then we can... A crop top is a good idea. And with the crop top, we can go further, add a sort of jacket or something. Let's think here. How should we do this? Maybe the crop top has long sleeves, right? Long baggy sleeves. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is coming along good. A lot of folds, make it look good. Not like it's just laying there. Okay. I like it. It feels like it's lacking something right now. What we could do is have a sort of like fur bit coming around like this. Almost like a, I think that's called a boa, right? That it's like coming around like that and then it comes over like this. Feels very, I don't know. I don't know why, but this feels very non-binary core to me to have that. So it sort of like rests over the shoulders, like if this was the torso, it comes around like that, and comes around, and then the arms go underneath. Head, right? Like, so that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think it adds to the floofiness that we're gonna have, because we're gonna do like very floofy, sort of like hair. Yeah. And then we'll go into more detail with the face in a bit. I like how this is turning out. I think, again, it requires a teeny bit more detail, but we can get there when we're there. Sort of like refining up the sketch. Let's work on the scythe. Maybe they're holding it backwards. Like this is the head of the blade. Yeah, that looks good. That way it's not like awkwardly down here. Again, all the design focus should be up this way. So let's work on that. Solidify that S curve for the shape. Because scythes have really cool, like, weird S curvy stuff going on, so you can swing them around in arcs. This is probably where we're going to need to pull in some more of the wolf inspiration here. Yeah, that. Put in, like, a sort of wolf tail here. There we go. Probably can emphasize that a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Okay. So with that. Okay, perfect. And we can have a sort of like cutoff thing here. We'll patch it. All in all, things are looking good so far. We can close off the clothing references for now. Animal references go up. I think I'm going to grab the bone references now, though. So I'll be looking at that for 2 seconds. Skull. Image. Okay, put that there. And then we'll grab this open one. Alright, it's good to me. Oh, what is just happening? Okay. Okay. Right, close all that stuff. All right. Now let's draw some bones. No. Wolf skulls are very weird, but at the same time a little bit simplistic. There's nothing crazy going on here if you look at this. Like, it just honestly looks like an elongated human skull with more pointy bits. Right? Like, that's nothing insane. We could probably do it like this. Please stop auto-saving Clip Studio. Alright. Clean that up a bit. Ripping the edges. Yada yada yada. Add some more of the canines. Add some sharper angles to it so it looks more menacing. And then from here, we can add a sort of pseudo ear thing that sort of has like an energy, which could be cool. And the connector should be interesting as too. Shouldn't just be a boring little thing. Prop design is its own kind of skill too. Like, it doesn't entirely fit in how should I say this? It is a necessity for character designers to have at least a bit of prop design, but prop design as its own is a very, very complex skill set to have. And there's a reason why there's people that do prop only too. That's cool. It's a cool shape. Okay. I'm going too fast for anybody, by the way. Or if you have questions, feel free to ask them, rather, I think is a better way of saying it. Okay, so that is the wolf scythe design done. Just like that. We can move on to a more refined sketch now. So let's shrink this down in itty weedy bit, just so that it's smoother, not smoother, but like more confined in the canvas. Okay. I am gonna get a glass of water because I just ran out, so I will be right back. So don't go anywhere. It shouldn't take me long. Come on, Clip Studio. Stop auto-saving, please. You. Okay, be right back. Your boy lives. All right. Now, I don't think we're gonna go too crazy with this. I think we'll line in color and then I'll post it. But let's get back to it. So we can hide the references for now. We just need the sketch. We're going to go in and put a finalized sketch touch on it. So this is where we're going to focus more on the finer details of things. So let's first start off with the face, which is what I normally do. So we're going to try and define a good face shape here. I kind of want to make it so that it has a curved jaw shape here. That. Really help with this sort of androgynous feel. Now, actually, I will need the hair reference here. I lied. I need to make sure I get this correct because there's a lot of curls and such on it. So I think the brush I'm using definitely helps aid in it looking curly too. This is the design pencil for those who don't know. I've been falling in love with this brush lately, as you can probably tell. I've used it in my streams as well as personal drawings that I've posted. That's curly hair is really rough to sort of space out on a drawing as well. Not careful. That. Okay. Now we can go for face shape, or like eye, nose, and all that stuff. I think we'll go for softer features. Sort of a friendly appearance, you know? Like thin eyebrows as well. I need to shrink this one eye very quickly. There we go. Give them a bit of cheekbone, but nothing crazy. Might actually just... it's too big of an eraser. There we go. That's cute. They're very cute. Look at them. Awesome. Okay. So, with that, I think we can hide the hair reference from now. I'm going to bring the wolf reference back now because I'm going to be working on the bottom jaw bit here. So, we want to emphasize this sort of shape with the jawbone. Curves down, it looks like? Yeah. Chunk that out a bit. And it seems like wolf skulls get pretty narrow, so we gotta pinch that real quick. That. And then rip, rip. And then get some thickness in there. Get in the turtleneck. Just a happy friend, you know. They look very silly goofy. I like them. So now that we've done that, we've gotten, I think, the hardest part out of the way. Personally, I would call it. Actually, no, the clothing might be a bit harder, trying to, like, hyper detail it. Not hyper detail. Refining the detail on it. So it's not just clothing. Actually has some, like, punch to it. Okay. Actually, what we can do here is add a sort of, like, connector. That's... We can spice that up in a bit. Yeah. There we go. Maybe this is, like, made of chain or something. Very Y2K to have just sort of like a chain necklace, I think. There we go. Okay. Now with the chain there, things are coming up. Excelsior. Okay. So, now that we have that done, we can move on to the torso and finish that up. So, that... Your... almost like as though it's a... Not a sweater vest, what's it called? A, just like a thicker fabric. Sort of like... Almost like a cotton... Not, what else is the thick stuff? Fleece, I think? Nice. Folio. And... I need this to be, like, more transparent, so I can actually see the lines on me. Alrighty. Okay. Getting those folds just right. Oh my god, my throat is killing me. Okay. Most of these folds are going to be hidden by the fur anyway, so, like, why do I bother? Alright, we'll flip this, see if everything's looking good. Okay. We're gonna add a bit of, like... Yeah, I likey. Not, like, super heavy makeup stuff, but, like... a sort of, like, feel to it, you know? I like giving characters long lashes. Get back up to the 10. Was I on 8 before? I was on 8 before. Oops. Right, that's fine. Gotta erase this one because it doesn't make sense anymore. Oh, yeah. The other one. Let's actually erase that as well. Okay. Just get you a quick hand. Awesome. Okay, that'll be holding the scythe. The hand's a little bit on the big side, or the head's... Actually, you know what? I think the head's on the small side. So the easy fix here is just to enlarge it, I think. That looks so much better now. Yeah. We got Tiny Ted Tanner over here. It's an androgynous T name. I don't know. We'll have to think on that one. We'll come back to that. Class, think about that. Whoops. They're flipping you off, man. There we go. That's their hand. Now we do hand. And actually, no, yeah. Thick belt. Thick belt. It's Y2K, man. Everything was... Everything was bulky. And what we can do, too, is we can add, like, some studding on this. So it's, like, spiky. Please, Clip Studio, I beg of you, stop. Okay. Alright, now we can finish up the pants, because they're not going to be too difficult to do. Okay. And now we get to the boots with the fur. Can I do this without looking? That's fine. That looks good. Actually, I don't want to lean into the paw thing being there. So. Okay. Bloggers. Let's go. We're actually making great progress on this already. And there's that. Both the paws are done. Very clunky boots, but I kind of like them. I feel like they really add to the aesthetic. Just like a star button here. Sure. So what we can do to sort of like detail this up a bit, we can add a sort of like slit on the pants. Have that come up a bit. And then, oh, brilliant idea. You know how normally you have like a stitch and it has like that? What if we made them dog bones? So they almost make like a crossbone effect. I really like that. Boom. Creative thinking. And the best part is we can have a repeating shape on that, so we don't have to worry about it only being on the pants. We can use that elsewhere as well. Like we can use that on the shirt. I'm gonna do this consistently. These are quite large. You probably can make these smaller. Like if I were to finalize this design, I would definitely make these smaller. Either I make them smaller or bigger, one of the two. Add one more. Just like this. I love it. It adds, it's such a small touch, and it adds so much. I think also what we're going to do is we're going to add make this split here a little bit bigger. Add more shape to the bottom of it. Oh, this is sort of like outcropping. Perfect. Voila. Mon ami. Mwah. Okay. And then have the chain here. So that's good enough. We can do the fur thing. I actually want to do this on a separate layer in case I goof up. Okay. That's having it show visibly it's wrapping around. Actually, you know what we can do is we can have it like dangled down a bit as well. That'll help with the silhouette too. It'll also look more like a wolf tail that way if we do it. Yes, 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 yes. Misa likey. Misa likey very much. Very good. Scratch the brain just right. Dangles like that. Yep. Alright. Let's tuck in. Let's be confused with Tekken. Different thing altogether. Okay. Likey how that is turning out. There's one thing I could do to push it is maybe having something hanging off of the fur too. So maybe like something like that. So another chain instance. Ooh, actually, maybe we can have the yeah. The bones are coming back. In a big way. Okay. And now we can get back to the top. Have it sort of make more sense here. Actually, I'm going to make the erase tool. Oops, that is the wrong thing. What? Fine, still getting erased anyway. Anything that the fur would show up, or cover up, I mean. Getting erased. All those lovely folds I spent so long doing are gone. Erase the wrong one. Ooh, my ass is getting hungry. Okay. But overall, this is looking great, I think. Yeah, we can definitely add some more stuff to the top here. I think much like what we did with the pants, we can add like a sort of split on the sweater. So it's sort of like that. So you can see like the undercuff of it. Detail there. Nice. Okay. I do like that sort of thematic on the design. Adds a little bit more to it. Now for the shirt itself, we do here. I think this will just be a pattern situation on the shirt. I think that's what fits best. All right. And with that, I think we have our liner done. Oh, wait, no. I totally forgot about the site. We should hit it. It'll take like 2 seconds, but I should get that done quick. This is much more where like hard angle shapes are going to appear in the design. Everything else has been so fluidy. Perfect. So this is like where the edge cuts. And then this is just for a bit of flair. So it's like a gap almost. We can add some depth to that by doing that. I think if I were to do this again, which I do kind of want to do, what I can do is I can add different kinds of prompts in, so it's not very samey in terms of what's it called? Feedback. I'm gonna add a sort of latch here, I think. We add these. I know that's. I do too much of that. I do too many vertebrae things. Add some wrapping on this. Sir, it's looking good. Add more wrapping at the bottom here. Oops. Gonna add a sort of a casing here to hold this so it doesn't just look like it's jutting out. Okay. And then we can erase anything that's hidden behind the leg. Awesome. I love this so much. Let me see what it's looking like so far, please. What do you mean? It's right on the screen. Boom. It's good to see you, though, Patchy. So this is the sketch so far. We're about to move into coloring. After I close up all the gaps and such. You see these gaps there. Just mainly the fur areas and then on the hand. Okay. Thank you, thank you. I had a whole design principle thing over there. I don't know if you saw. I can go over it again very, if you'd like. Okay. The gaps are closed. Okay. Still a gap somewhere down there. Oh, it's because it's blocked. And some. I can imagine this design in some awesome. Thank you. There we go. Now it's all closed off. There, all the gaps are filled. Cool. All right. Ooh, actually, wait. There we go. Now all the gaps are filled. We're going to shrink the outline by 1 pixel so it doesn't have any bleed over. Boop, 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 boop. Put up my coloring. All right, now we're going to need the references for skin. I definitely want them to be on the darker side. Thank you, Fantasia. It's also they, their, the they, them character. I want that to be slightly. Good. Designing the same vibe is some of the most fun. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Oh, good, Fantasia. Don't worry about it. We're gonna work on the vitiligo. Vitiligo, I think is how you pronounce it. And for that, I'm gonna need the wolf references again. So I want to base the patterning on a wolf. So pull up the pen. It's done. Listen, I'm bad names. Well, I'm glad you like it a lot then. What was I know you contributed to the prompt, but I forget which one it was, Hachi. If you could strike my memory. Like what you contributed to, like the prompts, right? I just don't remember which one you said for the design. Oh, I think you were the one that said androgynous, right? Actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. See, I really like this brush because it can kind of like imitate like human skin, like detailing a bit. Like it has like that like ability to create like pores a bit. You know what I mean? And we do this, we go spray. Particle size down, like 12. plastic Lego has like that like slight splotchiness to it a bit. I love how this is looking though. Cool, cool, awesome. Yeah, no, that's definitely like the look I want to go for. And what we can do here is like on the body as well. We can add like more detailing as well. Since this is going to be like an open thing, we can add like a sort of like swoop, like a very cool, stylish swoop. And then get the Vitiligo. Yeah. I'm glad I got home in time to watch this. Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. It's not quite up with that. There we go. Perfect. Mwah! Voila. Vitiligo. All right, now we can work on the actual outfit and colors and such. So one of the things that first popped up was pink and yellow hair, so we got to figure that out really quick. Because those are both colors I actually kind of struggle to see. We got to figure out, I think because yellow is such an overpowering color, we kind of have to go for like a striking pink. Let's get that done. Now, I know it said half and half, pink and yellow, but again, I think yellow would just overpower it too much. So I'm going to make the executive decision and have yellow just be like a highlight that I use on it. And I also want the hair to match the fur, so I'm also going to color the fur that. Okay. Oops, that's not quite right. There we go. So now for the rest of the color scheme, things might be a little bit on the wonky side. So we got to figure out what can match the pink and yellow we choose. And since these are such vibrant colors, I want them to pop. So we kind of want to have desaturated, duller colors, probably in the warm category. So like reds, maybe like very red themed purples. So we want to make sure that the pink and yellow are the main stage of this all. So with that said, let's work on the yellow aspect of this now. Figure out how to best do this. Yeah, see, look how overpowering the yellow is. We have to use it so sparingly. It almost looks like that fish from Finding Nemo. You know the one I'm talking about? I think we get some references from David Bowie. Yeah, I think he had more like highlights of the pink in his blonde hair, though. A little bit different. What was the name of the fish from Finding Nemo that was like the purple and yellow fish in the tank? I don't actually remember, but I do remember it was one of my favorite fishes. I wanted one when I had an aquarium when I was younger. And then I found out it was a saltwater fish, and I was like, ooh, never mind. That is extremely difficult to take care of. That's okay. I think also using silver here would be good, because it's like the, oh, silver kills werewolves sort of thing. Oh, you know what? That'd be cute, actually, if they were a, like a werewolf hunter that used, like, wolf-themed aesthetics. I think black. Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely, like, duller colors. I definitely want to put, like, a bit of red in there somewhere. Totally not biased or anything like that. Just because I think it would combo well with it, personally. Like a nice, like, dull bright, not dull bright, but like a dull red, like very saturated dull. You'll see what I mean. This could just be my color blindness kicking in, but you'll understand what I mean when I get there. Oh, I need to go back to my color history. Black denim pants or silver belt. Yeah. Exactly. I think definitely like darker pants to help make the top part pop would very much work. So let's try doing that now. We're gonna actually put this into a separate folder there, just so we can keep track of it. Let's do like darker, sort of like purpley-ish pants. So like something like that. Let's see how that looks. Never use pure black, by the way. Does not look good. And after I'm finished with coloring this, you'll see what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna add like a colored line layer to it, so that it adds like a sort of softness to the drawing. Oh, I totally forgot about the front of the boots. Oops. And it's probably for the best, honestly, because it'd be extremely eye-catching otherwise. So yeah, that definitely helps like keep the focus on the top. That's good. What we can do is add like a sort of like neutral red color now. Saturated deep red. This might be too close in value to each other. This is giving Monster High energy for sure. I think those are fine in value. I might make it like slightly brighter, but other than that, it looks good. Yeah, and I think I might use that same red for the belt, honestly. Go. see how this looks. Actually, I want to do the split on the arm. I'm glad that it is marketable plushie worthy, or marketable doll worthy, I guess. Thank you, Pachi. Alright. That should be all the reds done. I don't want to overload the red, it shouldn't be the main takeaway here. So with that done, we can work on the silver now. Okay. Silver will go with the top layer, so everything else will go underneath this. So anything bone related is going to be silver, so that includes this draw piece here. So that done. I should probably actually give them earrings or something too. When are you done? So I'm gonna show. This should take like 30-ish minutes to finish, I think, roughly. Because I got dinner soon, so I want to try and speedrun this. And then I gotta finish my schedule for next week, which, spoiler, I'm not gonna be doing a lot next week. I'll stream, I think, Monday and Wednesday, and that's it. And it's gonna be a gaming week. So, first time in a while, other than this week, but that's just because I wasn't feeling well, that we're not gonna have a Friday stream. Let's get the rest of these silvers done. And then I'll make the bottom of the shoe silver as well. Get those deadly kicks. Once we get all the metal done, we can actually start like thinking about like the top colors. Excuse me. I'm actually really happy with how this is coming out. I was really nervous about this stream because I was like, oh boy, what what am I gonna do? But it's come out really, really good. A lot of tiny little touch-ups. Okay, good. Next up, actually, you know what we should do? We should use the red that we were using as the cloth lining for this. I think that'll look good. Yeah. Check that out. I do love this shade of red so much. It's so nice. It's very visually appealing. It adds a certain gothic element to this that I really like. Let me get these lines here. Okay. We're gonna add like a little bit, just an itty bitty bit of like implied jewelry there. That. There we go. We'll do the eyes super quick, so it'll take me like 2 seconds. And then someone said green. Expand that a bit. There we go. Okay. Now for the ever elusive top. What do we do with you? Let's try like a darker purple color. See how that looks. It's the yeah, so that can go up here. So let's color this in, and then we can start experimenting with some color stuff. As well as pattern stuff too, because I do believe I stated that we would need a pattern on the sweater to make it sort of pop out more. Okay, let's see what we got here. I mean, I don't hate the color, honestly, right off the bat. I think it definitely could use some, like, patterning to make it, like, more, what's it called? Interesting? I don't know what to call it interesting, because it's like, it already looks good. Intriguing might be a better way of putting it. Here, let's try just the generic sort of where's why is it doing this? Oh, because it wasn't visible. Boy. Make silver wolf on. Wait, what? You make the silver wolf. Yeah, I could do a wolf on the shirt too, honestly. That's a good idea. I want to try this really quick. I will explain what I'm doing in 2 seconds. Color, circle, line. There we go. Pop print. Oh, I know. Yeah. Those are giving me great ideas already. We're going to do, where's it? This color, and then we're going to make it slightly lighter. Not super light, slightly lighter. And then we're going to this, that, merge down, mask. So there we go. We have a pattern on the shirt. Looks good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the silver from before, like you suggested. Actually, maybe silver's another good idea. Let's try doing a, just like super bright blue. See how that looks. We can do, wolf design like that with this. I think silver meshes, or not meshes, but like clashes too much with the ornament. And then what we can do is we can have these sort of like claw mark stuff on the underside, as well as some paw print stuff. Pull it up. No. There we go. Now we can merge that. Boom. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna add some tweaking to that so it doesn't look so bulky. Good stuff. Add some pop to it. It's a little bit eye-catching, but it's not like overpowering. If at least I can just do this, so it's not like super crazy. It adds a nice little fade effect on it. We can do some of the like little paws here on this sleeve cuff, I think it's called. I like that. That's cute. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. And then let's add some like cloth. Just to add some like depth to it. Do it on the neck too. Fuck yeah. Okay. That just leaves a few things, and then I think we're basically done. I do want to add some patterning onto the red, so we'll just very quickly do this. That. Oh my god, the autosave is driving me crazy. Thank you very much, Pachi. Alright, there we go. There's the patterning done. So now we can focus on the other stuff. Eyes and stuff. Okay. I think we can bring the green back a bit and like dull it a bit. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I really like working with green a lot of the time because I feel like it clashes with so much stuff to me. That it also could just be my stupid colorblind eyes, but I think just doing like a deep. Yeah, this looks better. It's not super eye-catching. And then purple feet, fur. Just for a bit of separation in tone. Go to this as well. So it's like a blade. Hold on, I'm switching up the music really quick. Please? Work? Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. That's like epic. Felt myself throw up when I did that. Still not as bad as the shonen anime voice I can do. Okay, and then we just got to do the thing over here. I think for that we can just do like this, just underneath the silver. Good, and then underneath that is it's a little darken. Okay, I think that is everything. Now this is very bare bones, right? Like this is just a first draft, but I think it's a very strong and prominent first draft that you can easily like. You can go further with it, 100%, and you can definitely like. I'm actually going to change this color slightly to be brighter. Second. There we go. All right. Sorry. As I was saying, you can definitely like push this design further, 100%. It definitely falls into a lot of like the kind of design, not traps, but tropes that I keep coming back to. Like I love drawing fur stuff. I think fur is really good on any sort of like clothing as an accessory. It's just a fun like aspect of any clothing I find. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. I think it looks really, really good. And it covers a lot of the bases of what you need for like a strong and compelling VTuber design. I think the next time I do this, I will pull out more like I will pull out more sort of inspiration from larger VTubers on how their models have succeeded and why their designs are so appealing and yada yada yada. You get the idea. It's definitely something to save for another time, for sure. Let me add some color to the line art. It's too bright. Slightly too bright. Perfect. Awesome. All right. And with that, I think that's good. I think we accomplished our goal here, y'all. So, yeah, if you want to participate the next time we do this sort of chat helps build along the VTuber, make sure you follow the Twitter, okay? So that would be at Arthur Dracolich VT. Or not VT, just at Arthur Dracolich on Twitter. Make sure you sub to the channel too. I'll probably be posting more in the community tab, trying to get more into the hang of that. And what else is there? Yeah, just sub channel, ring the bell, all that jazz, you know. Yeah, I'll catch y'all on Monday for the 6-month anniversary stream where I'm just going to be messing around and not doing anything too crazy. Yeah. See you guys later. Bye.